There is an absolutely huge amount of news for Historia to be showcased for this game. If you don't know what this game is, it's an upcoming dinosaur evolutionary survival game. But yeah, we've got talks about mechanics, new dinosaur releases, and so much more to talk about today. So let's get right into it. Timestamp's on the screen now, and if you are new, feel free to subscribe. But other than that, let's just dive right in. So, firstly, we have a brand new dinosaur that has been announced and teased for the game. This is Lilian Sternus. So, introducing Lilian Sternus to Historia. This is a Triassic gremlin at that, and it's a dinosaur that is something that the developers have teased in April and showcased some art for this dinosaur as well to go with the model showcase, which showcases a sculpt of the head of the dinosaur. They also outlined some information about this creature as well, which is on the screen now. Pause it, have a read of it if you want, but yeah, that's the information. I'm not going to talk too much about that because I want to showcase the images. Firstly, we have a size chart of this dinosaur indicating that it is a small to medium sized theropod, more leaning on the small size. However, this is one of the earlier dinosaurs or carnivores that you get to play as in the game, but it is still a substantial dinosaur at that. The dinosaur won't have a big crest on its skull, but instead it was actually just got a rather small crest. You can still see a little crest coming out, peeking out from the skull a little bit. Well, it's not really a proper crest, it's just more grooves in the head shape. We actually do get to see the model of the head. You can see that there is a slight pronunciation on the skull there. However, it's not big enough to really say that it is a crest. The dinosaur also has a dewlap on the neck, which is really cool. But yeah, that's what we have so far for Lilian Sternus, a small theropod from the Triassic era that will be playable in the Triassic part of this game, which will probably be one of the first carnivores that you get to go through when you're evolving down the carnivorous dinosaurs in this game. Next up, we have something that I find quite interesting, and that is regional AI. So, we have some talk about some of the AI that will be in the game, but first we have a comment from the developers which says this. As you guys know, we plan on making a realistic experience of what it would have been like to grow and evolve through the Mesozoic period. This experience is something we plan on making as lively and fulfilling as possible. Thus, it is not just other players or hazards of nature that will keep your experience interesting throughout the game, but also ambient creatures that stomp, crawl, swim, and fly throughout the prehistoric land. Then they go on to showcase 3 different critters in the game, actually 4 different AI lizards that will make up the Triassic era of the game. Now, these are regional lizards, which means these will be in different environments, and you'll be finding these in different environments from each other. So let's just get into them. The smallest critter is Dinosaur, which is a little tiny gecko looking critter, which would probably serve as a early food for some of the smaller dinosaurs. It looks really cute. I like this a lot. Then we are followed up with Clevosaurus, which is slightly bigger than the gecko. In fact, no, it's actually quite bigger than the gecko, but it is still smaller than the next 2. The next one is Brachyrhinodon, one that we have seen before through concept art and its dossier. And then we have the finest one, the biggest AI lizard. I don't actually know how big this one will be, but this is Sphenodon, which to me looks absolutely awesome, and it's probably going to be the scariest one just because it's eating something that you'll probably play as. Then we get a glimpse of some of them in a big image together, all huddled together, which looks really nice. And you can get to see how big Sphenodon is and how small Dinosaur is, which is pretty funny to note. But it indicates a sense of scale with these AI lizards, which is very nice overall. And finally, let's end up on some mechanics that will be coming to the game that I cannot wait to talk about for you guys. There's actually quite a few here, but we're going to get into the first one, which is symbiosis, a new mechanic that was teased for the game. Essentially, in Historia, you'll have a mechanic that is pretty much like in real life. You know, when you've got little birds that perch on elephants or rhinos and debug them and, you know, clean them, that's what symbiosis is, and you'll be able to do that in Historia. Essentially, as they say, in Historia you can choose to work with other species for both of your benefits, whether that is protection, food, alarm systems, or just traveling. All of these behaviors will be able to ease your journey in Historia. In the concept art that is provided, you see a diplodocus with some pterosaurs on it, which is Geholopterus, to perch on it and debug its scars and wounds and help clean it overall, which is pretty good. This is an exciting new mechanic. However, there are some other ones which are tolerances. So tolerances are acts which creatures take to ensure their safety and survival within the game. This varies from creature to creature and will be categorized from high to medium to low. Competition for different food or for creatures will open opportunities for different tolerances or coexisting and engaging in battle to fight over that stuff. There's also situational tolerances, which are like that of territorial fights or defending of packs and stuff like that. However, there are also other mechanics that are soon to be described by the developers. These are courtship minigames, territorial minigames, and nesting minigames, which is all pretty neat and dandy. There are some final stuff that I do want to mention, however. These are heavy work in progress stuff and also some showcases of the map which the developers showcased. This is the map for the Triassic and it showcases some sunsets as well. This, I believe, is a crater which looks really cool. So what we're seeing here is some vegetation on it, which is ferns and all that, but you can also see some rocks and a crater ring, which could indicate this is either a crater or a volcanic crater. There's also some shots of it in the sunset and sunrise, which look absolutely beautiful. Now, obviously, this map will be having large worlds, so it will probably have slightly worse graphics than that of Path of Titans and the Isle. But however, the sunsets and everything look beautiful. We also have a limping animation for Prestosuchus, which looks really nice overall. And then we have a swimming animation for one of the pterosaurs that will be in the game. I think this is Eodimorphodon. I'm not too sure. However, it looks really cool. And I really like the limping animation as well. It's really nice to see all this coming together. However, I do mention these in the outro, but I thought I'd just do a whole section talking about them because it'd fit better. And there we have it. That is everything that I wanted to talk about for Historia. A lot of mechanics to talk about there. A showcase of a new dinosaur and some AI. So it's a nice amount of wide varying stuff here. But that is everything in this update for the game. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you excited to see more Historia stuff? I'd love to know what you think. But other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.